Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the Black Yul Brenner Sadiq. And this is Free Flow Friday, where we just kind of go with the flow here. And for those of you guys who are on YouTube, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel for more insightful, entertaining conversation, if you will. And to those of you guys on Facebook, thank you so much for being here on the other side of the conversation. And I want to say a big, giant thank you to Mr. Marcus Guyton for everything that he does behind the scenes. We could not do this without you. We could, but it'd be hard. And so anyway, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. We're going to wait for a couple more people to come on before we get started. We're going to start off with something that's a little bit lighter. Well, some people might not think this conversation is light. But, you know, we'll start off with this and then we'll go on to the coronavirus and, you know, the state of what's going on with the world and the nation and politics and all that other stuff, because usually we start talking about other things. So anyway, Donovan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I made a run to the military base commissary, sat out there for almost an hour waiting to get into the store. Went in the store for 15 minutes to get my dog food, which is what I just needed because they're Rachel Ray, special dog food. And I was out of there in 15 minutes, but it's kind of getting to a point to where it's getting a little ridiculous.
Are you ready to go back outside? Are you ready to go back outside now?
No. I mean, remember, I have a landscape background. I foresaw all of this. Remember that.
Got it.
So while people are rushing to go to the store, I'm picking my apple off of my tree.
Okay. Somebody, that was like Donovan. Somebody named Donovan just messaged me. Was that you?
No.
All right. So anyway, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. So anyway, oh my gosh, I'm kind of scared to do this. But I'm gonna do it. Yes, Brandy, it does feel like Monday. Like we don't know what time of day it is anymore, right? Hey, Sydney, what it do? So anyway, as you guys have probably seen, maybe you haven't. And I started to post it. I didn't post it on my wall because it's got a lot of profanity and stuff in there. But anyway, there was a young lady by the name of Atara. She made a video that's somewhat gone viral now, and she has had it up to here. Had it up to here with what I would say Black men. Now I can't speak for her, but well, yeah, I'm gonna go off of what she said. And so sounds like she's had a rough go of it with Black men. And I'm gonna kind of put it together. But she says that Black men, or she says men, I would say, but she said another word, were slim pickings. She said basically if you have a man that has a job, he has a small, or if you have a man that has a good heart, he doesn't have a job or he doesn't have a car. And then if you have a good looking man, he's got 2 and 3 women on the side. Donovan posted it, Sydney. He's got to so if he's got, you know, as I said, if he's fine, he got, you know, 2 or 3 women on the side. And, you know, she's basically saying that, and this is what she said, you got to string 2 and 3 men together to get one good man. And so she was just more or less like I said, she's had it up to here with men. You know, she's like basically want to know where are the good men that is not going to take, you know, women through the struggle. And, you know, she says also she has, you know, 5 girlfriends, if you will, not like girlfriends, but friend girlfriends that are quality women is what she's calling them. And I'm assuming she's considering herself a quality woman as well. Quality women that get screwed over by men, you know, to one degree or another. And so she's just, you know, wanting to know, I guess, where are the men who aren't, or basically she just, and I'm, I guess, making a statement rather, that their Black men are slim pickings. Now, I took the liberty to send it to quite a few people, and most of the people I sent it to agreed, and some of those were men who agreed with everything she said. Now, I did go through the comment section, and I would say it was pretty evenly split, where a lot of men was like, oh, she's ugly, she's not a 10, she's this, she's loud, she's blah, 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 you know, just a whole bunch of stuff. but rarely did they address what she said. And so, and a lot of women, kind of said, well, maybe she needs to raise her expectations and this, that, and the other. And so I want to go ahead, and I wish, like I said, I could have posted it, but it's just kind of a little bit too salty for my main timeline. Although I think Donovan posted it. He says, I'm a G.
That's it. Posted it everywhere because
Right.
it's something that we need to talk about. Because are what these women slandering men, is what she's saying true? Now, I didn't agree with everything she said, but a lot of it, yeah, I could see that. You want to know why? Because I'm not the guy she was talking about.
Right. And I will venture to say, and I'm going to get to you guys' comments because I see you guys are already chiming in. I would say I didn't agree with everything either, because I know that there's a lot of good black men out there. I didn't want to say some. There's a lot of good black men out there. But I want to take the task, the notion. Well, let me go ahead and go to Tay's comment. And how you doing, Tay? She says, I disagree. It's her dating pool that is shallow. You can find a good man, but you have to open your eyes and heart to that one that has it 100% together. So this is what I want to say, because that's going to kind of tie into what I wanted to say. I kind of wanted to debunk that a little bit, because I had a heated discussion with Al about this last night, because he was brave enough to post it on his page, and he got a lot of feedback. And there's a lot of women that say, well, or a lot of people rather, she's dating on her level. She doesn't think she deserves better. And so I'm going to ask you guys this. Am I wrong, or what do you guys think about this? Most of the time, Donovan, I'll pose this question to you since you're the only one that can verbally give me feedback. All right. We just meet, right? Oh, hey, how you doing, Donovan? Yeah, I got 5 kids and I got 4 baby daddies. And, sometimes I work, sometimes I don't. Oh, it's just drama all the time with them. I don't have no car. I'm going to always be digging in your pocket for stuff. My phone get cut off a lot, but I'm going to need you to help me do that. And sometimes these kids might call you MF or something, jump on your back. And it's rough around here. What you going to do?
Damn, just the woman I've been looking for. No, I'm going the other way. But think about that.
I'm trying to make a point with this. Even people like that are not going to lead with that. They're going to lead with, oh, yeah, shoot, I got my stuff together. No, it's all good. My kids, I don't never need no man for nothing. Everything is all. That's the stuff I said before. That's the stuff you're going to find out after a couple of days, and the real, the mask comes off, right? So the point that I'm making is this. Richard says, I will have my track shoes will be on. The point that I'm making is this. Most people don't come with the nonsense. If you as a man are telling me, yeah, shoot, I got my stuff together. I got a car. I got a job. I don't have no baby mama drama. Everything is just great over here. I'm going to go off of what you told me. The unfortunate part is a lot of people don't tell the truth about themselves. And so I want to ask you guys, how can that be someone's fault if they went off of what was told to them? Now, I'm going to venture to say it becomes my fault if I stay. If I stay once I find out you were a total liar, none of the stuff you told me at first was true, then it's my fault if I stay. But is it my fault that you came to the table lying? Like nothing was the truth. Is that really my fault? What if I thought, from what you told me and for what I've seen, what if I thought I was dating up there? You know what I mean? What if because I had years and years ago in my young 20s, I was talking to a guy. He told me he was a teacher. You know what he ended up being? He's a schoolyard attendant. Now, how am I really
close? That's close.
But you see what I'm saying? Listen, ain't nothing wrong with no schoolyard attendant, but don't lie and tell me you a teacher, and then you telling kids to go sit down, So anyway, let me get to y'all comments.
Oh, man.
And Brandy, you say that's a general statement. Yeah, I agree. clearly the sister was, she that had it. She was like, that's enough. I can't do it anymore. Like I said, it's caused the firestorm. A lot of people are like, she's the problem. And so Tay said, I was told that you are who you attract. If she is attracting trash dudes, what vibe is she putting out there? I agree with that largely. I largely agree with that. However, per what I just said, if I think I'm attracting a good dude, then I'm going to go with that until you show me differently. Now, I'm speaking as a woman, and I'm going to speak as a Black woman. And I always tell y'all this. I've only dated Black dudes. And I tell you, like, I've been raked over the coals and just been through the stuff with brothers. I tell you all the time, I've not dated one man that has not cheated on me. Now, I ain't dated a whole lot of dudes, but I would say I have a good enough, track record in the dating department to be able to say every man I've been with has cheated on me. So, and let's see this here. And Richard Wright, he says, my track shoes will be on. Hey, Corliss, what's happening? He says, no, you meet the representative first. Absolutely. I'm going off of what you showed me. Like, I don't have anything to match it up against to say you're lying. So if you tell me, I'm this and I'm that, and I got my stuff together, I'm going to go off of that, right? So that's what I wonder. How could that be my fault if you're lying to me? And then Tay, you say, if you go off of what you're told is one thing, but the truth will come to light. If you choose to stay with someone that isn't what you think they are, you're the fool. And I 100% agree with that. Like, once I figure out that you're really the schoolyard attendant and you're not the teacher, because it's like, if you lying about that, what else are
what else?
That dude was lying about a lot of stuff. Okay. Needless to say,
it's kind of funny that you say that, and especially for the young ladies that are watching this right now, and especially the one you got at your house right now. When you find that out and you continue to stay, okay, he says he doesn't have any kids, right? Come to find out he's got 3 or 4 baby mamas. Then you get hooked up to be a baby mama, and now you're stuck with this man for the rest of your life.
That's when it becomes your fault. Like, when you get in the know and then you continue to stay, then I don't think you have a right to complain, because you found out he wasn't who he said he was. And, well, I'm in love with him now. I'm all in now. Then have a nice life.
Right. And then what kills me is they think because you're with him right now, he's going to take care of your baby instead of the other 3 that he's not taking care of.
Right. I'm going to be the one to change him. Good luck. And Richard says, you say, ease into things. Do your homework. It's not guaranteed, but you're less likely to get burned. I agree. Like, maybe hold off on the emotions part. Ease into it. Don't ease into the bed, because that's what a lot of people do, especially us as women. We get in the bed and we're like, oh, I just love him. Oh, he just, and then we get burned in more than one.
Isn't that what old girl said in the video? You got good D,
Right. Yeah, that'll mess you up too. And Richard says he was teaching the kids tetherball. Yeah, for the most part. Like I don't have a problem to say you a schoolyard attendant, a crossing guard, whatever, but you ain't got to lie to kick it. But if for whatever reason he felt like he did, right. Maybe he thought, I was gonna be like, oh no, boo, which I wouldn't have been, I was.
Yeah, you would have.
I would have been. I was like in my young 20s. And
true story.
Mondial.
Real quick,
Sure.
Yeah, real quick, true story. I had this girl that said she could not date me because I had my shit together.
Why do you think
so you really can't? I don't. Here's what I think it is. Women, especially Black women, have bought into the you got to be equal to a man or better than a man, so much so that it's a competition. So if she felt that if she wasn't on the level that I was on, or if I was on a lower level, whatever it is, that she wasn't good enough for me, which is total bullcrap. Why is it that I could work at McDonald's and I'm doing the fries real good? You know how when they don't get too crunchy, they're nice inside, they're just perfect, right? I'm doing them fries. I see a fine young thing come in, right? Hey, can I get your number? No, how dare you talk to me? Oh, you work at McDonald's, right? Reverse the role. I see a beautiful, I know, I see a beautiful girl on the fries, and she just doing it up, just doing it up. Hey, let me get your number. Sure, no problem. It, we just got it messed up. The whole thing is just messed up.
Or maybe you wasn't putting enough salt on the fries or something.
Hey, I used the Lowry's. I was using Lowry's.
And she turned you down, brother?
Turned me down. Couldn't believe it.
And I think I'm Mondial. I hope I said that right. How you doing? He says, I think we can see signs, but we think at times that we see it and we can control it by whatever tactics we execute. And I agree with you on that. I mean, we do see signs. I'm guilty of it, seeing the flags, and I'm like, but that's okay. I know it's not really what I see. So I agree.
Right.
And hey, Al, he says, Donovan, I'm a household technician. No, B, you're a maid.
You're a maid.
Stop. You know what? Close, right? Close. And oops, my thing jumps up. And Sydney says, ask questions when dating people. Yes. Now, of course, I being close to 50, we know that now. But when you're younger, and I always try to be honest with y'all. I didn't always ask questions, especially when I was younger. I did, but not like no deep dive stuff, because especially like when you become this age and you've been through so much, you're like, So you say you're a teacher, huh?
Right.
Your credentials.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Don't you trust me? Don't you trust me?
I do, but.
And my credential, it's Columbine College. You haven't heard that one. It's like Columbia, but it's the under. Here's the funny thing. When people say, "Well, you're in the Air Force, whatever, to go to the academy," and this is true. I've said this. Well, sorta. What do you mean? I didn't go to the Air Force Academy, and they will back this up. I went to the Junior Academy, the community college of the Air Force. So it's kind of, but my point in this is this: I didn't go to the academy. I told you a half truth. You should investigate that.
Okay. And hey, Rosalind, you said, what's good though? I have a friend, retired military, owns his own business, good provider, good husband, good father in the church, but he cheats He cheats his ass off. I'm surprised his noodle hasn't fallen off. So he's good to his wife, to his children, outside looking in. But what else? Good is not good enough for me. And exactly. And that's what she said too. That's what the lady was saying on the video. You have a man that have all that together, have all this stuff together, but he ain't faithful to no woman. So she said that. She said, so if I want a man like that, then I'm going to have to, accept the fact rather that he's a cheater. If I want to, right. So it's like she was, that's why I guess she was saying it's slim pickings. And unfortunately, a lot of women agreed with her. And let's see. And hey, Kevin, what's happening? And you say, this may sound crazy, but I think the nature is under attack by capitalism marketeering. My dad had a job. As long as he had a job, he and my mother took care of 8 children, and we, the kids, were happy. Today, people are taught to believe in unrealistic expectations for Africans born in America compared to Europeans born in America. Go back to basics, respect, and stick to it ism. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. We do need to go back to basics. But, I mean, and that's not to say people didn't cheat back then. They did, but I don't know. Right? To me, it just seems like it's just at an all-time high,
Yeah, for me, I agree with Kevin, but the thing is, you got to remember, times must and always will change. Back in the day when our parents, I don't know how old you are, but back in our day when our parents, one income can take care of a whole family. My mom's the oldest of 12. One guy did the whole thing by himself. Awesome. But when they tricked the woman, especially the Black woman, to come out of the home and get into the workforce, now you have more stuff. It's like you said, the more money you have, the more problems you have. And so this woman thinks now, oh, I don't need no man because I got my own money. I got my own job. I don't need him for anything. So if you don't need us, you don't need us. And that's what I'm saying. The times have changed now to where we will never be able to go back to that because the genie has escaped from the bottle.
Right. Well, I'm one of those people who tend to think that we can go back to that.
No, we can. Yeah. But as a whole, but most women won't do it. I'm not saying women have to be at home, but whatever their situation is, the male or the woman, what do I tell you, D, all the time? A woman with me wants to work because she wants to, not because she has to.
Right.
That's all up to her because I bring home the whole loaf.
Right. Period. All right now, single ladies. Single ladies. And let's see. And Al, he says, I like what your friend said. Once the relationship is over, the woman will be better off from which I found her. Yes, I have a good friend. He says that regardless of what his situation is with the ladies, he always leaves them better off than when he found them. So that might be them getting a degree, helping them pay off their debt, something. He's like, I'm not just going to be with a woman and not make her better. Now, this is the same friend as well, who's very open in that, this is the past, obviously, but I'm not a one woman type of man. I like the ladies. I will not date you exclusively. But he knew that it pays to play. So he knew that he couldn't just be with these women and not make sure that they're getting something out of it. So yes, I just think that's an awesome model for a man or anybody. Anybody you're with should be better off because they're with you. It shouldn't be they're worse off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but ladies, you got to remember, you could never ruin a man's years coming up, but a man can ruin yours. So if you're with this guy 10 years and he's not marrying you and stuff, those 10 years are gone. You guys go through your different body changes and stuff like that. So there comes, unfortunately, you guys have a shelf life. Once that shelf life is over, I'm not saying you can never find a man no matter, whatever. What I'm saying is, though, you guys have a very short window of when you guys are at your most deadly. You know what I mean? Fine, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But if you're with the man 10 years and he's wasting your time, you will never get those years back. I could waste my time for 10 years. I'm a man. Hair, no hair, fat, slob, whatever. As long as I got the money and I'm the provider, women are going to be around,
I can kind of see your point. Write that down. It's rare. Mm-hmm. And Mondial, he says equally yoked. Yeah, you should be equally yoked. A lot of times people think that deals with religion, but it deals with every aspect in life. You should be equally yoked, at least be going the same direction. Now, I'm not saying my man and I, see, I was grammatically correct. We don't have the same diet. I'm a vegan. He's not. That doesn't bother me. We don't always see, we don't have the same ideologies about certain things, but the main things we do, right?
That's right. He did not support the Kaepernick boycott.
Right. And Tay says
he's the ticket holder.
Right. And Tay says that's the thing, Donovan. Some have standards for a partner they don't have for themselves. Absolutely. Now, that's another thing. If you want, I saw this show once, Steve Harvey did. And it was actually an Oprah show way back in the day when Steve Harvey was on there. And there was a lady, she was about 300 pounds. No shade to anybody who's, a curvy girl. But the point that I'm making is she was 300 pounds and she got up and said, my man, my husband, whoever he is in the future, has to be slim and in shape. He has to be a millionaire. He has to do all these things. And then Steve Harvey asked her, and I knew where he wanted to go with it, but he didn't. He says, are you those things? And she was like, well, no, I guess I could get in shape a little. And no, I don't have $1 million. And so he says, well, why are you asking him to do the things you're not? And she kind of had to sit down on that one.
She didn't answer that one. She should have said, maybe because he's a man. Simple answer. He's a man.
And Cindy says, Donovan, I just had that. I have my shit together and it made her scared. And yes, I want to say maybe because there's a lot of women out there. Now, this is an admonishment to the women. There's a lot of women out there who feel like if I can't fix him, if he doesn't need me, then I don't have a place. Because a lot of women, subconsciously, they need a man who's all broken down. They got this mama savior's complex. I got to help him. I got to save him and build him up to be something, great, instead of being with a man who is already that or close to it, right?
Yeah, Sydney, get used to that, because a lot of women, especially, our age, or, a little, maybe a few years younger, it's art. I'm not saying all of them, but what I'm saying is it's an intimidating factor, because here you are, okay, you have your house, you have your car, your kids are grown, you're free and clear. They still waiting for Ray to come out of prison to get himself together. They're still dealing with child support issues. They're still, house still needs to be paid. And what they don't understand is that doesn't matter to us, because we're bringing home the whole loaf. Period.
All right. And Mildred, what's happening? Says truly messed up. And Mikey, what's going on? He says, let's get one thing straight. Black people who date outside of your race needs to stop being labeled a sellout out of their race. Just because you marry a white, Spanish, Asian person doesn't mean you're anti-black. Well,
that's right. Why should you be happy? That's basically what people are saying.
I'm one of those people that you should date who you want to date. That's who I feel. Now, as a black woman who's only dated black men, I can only say that, that I have. That's who is for me. Now, I believe, this is my opinion, black people should stay together. We are the only race, predominantly, I would say, who say that. Make excuses not to be together. Yeah, you can date who you want, but why not speak about black people being with each other? Because we are stronger together. We need each other. We need to start keeping our money together, right? And, just building the black family unit again. So I'm one of those people who think black men and women should be together. Now, are you a demon because you're not? No. I have family members, and I have nieces and nephews who are not what we call all black. They are, half white, half
biracial.
And yeah, they're biracial, whatever. But that's just my preference. So I can't tell anybody else what to do. And Mondado, he says, you gotta get slapped your mama seasoning, for your fries. And and you said it real, it's French, well done. Oh, well, we're behind. And Richard, he says, you don't necessarily need credentials, quote unquote, but there are questions you can ask that will help to clarify things. Absolutely. And Alex says, Donovan, let me see, go way back. He said, Donovan, I once met a girl who wouldn't talk to me because my mom was alive. She dates men whose moms are dead because the mama wouldn't like her son's mate anyway. So she felt, why deal with it? The dads like their sons' girlfriends, but the mama never will. Wow.
Very true. Very true.
Because there's a lot of men who are mama's boys, and the mama just won't, she ain't gonna let you have a relationship with her son without her having something to say. And Mandela says a man is tested when he has fame. Get a person that will not get big-headed, right? Usually a lot of times men, you have a man who was at the bottom and you help him get to the top. He's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna head out. It's been real. He go get him somebody else.
If you're Steve Harvey.
Wow. Right. And Al says, Pastor Matthew said, if a man wants some good, he needs a good job.
So true. So effing true. That is so true.
All right. And Tay says, one guy told me that I was stuck up because I have realistic standards. I'm 41. If you're still job hopping, no goals, no stability, bye. I'm far from perfect, but I will not fall in love with your potential. Yeah. I mean, you get a certain age. Like, listen, the build of man's, age is gone, come and gone. I need somebody who is kind of like, yeah, this is where I'm at, or, and I love a man that's open for improvement as well. But yeah, it's all that, like you said, job hopping, and it's just, I've been through some things. You've been.
Wait a minute. Look here. See, you guys got this all wrong. I've been writing music since I was 25. I've got a vault full of stuff. My album's going to drop any day now once I get the right contract. I'm just waiting for the right contract. I've been in the studio for years. I've been spitting plenty of stuff, plenty of albums. Just hang in with me, baby. I'm in the studio right now, dropping the triple album.
What you mean to say is you and your mama basement in the closet, makeshift studio, making mixtapes that you trying to hawk at Walmart outside when people come out. That's what you're saying to me?
Exactly. Every day. I'm what, almost 50 years old, and I'm still trying to be a freshman rapper.
So you trying to make the double XL the freshman, freshman class? I can choke.
Right. Man. And women fall for that. That's what kills me. Women fall for that. I'm gonna support him.
Mundial, you says Willie Lynch letter. I'll get the page number. Please do. Although some people dispute it's on authenticity, if you will. And Al says, my mom told my sister, ask yourself, what can a man do for you that you can't do for yourself? And if he can't answer that, you don't need his ass. My dad says the same thing. A woman don't need a man to help her do nothing.
Nothing.
Right? And Sydney says 300 pounds. 300 pounds ain't curvy.
Well, no, 300 pounds is curvy if she's 6'8" or something like that. But if she's 4'10", no, definitely not.
Lloyd, what's happening? He says it may sound simple, but people need to really get to know one another. A lot of people are in long-term relationships with people they don't know. You know what? Yeah. You're absolutely right about that, because people are too afraid to get transparent and ask necessary questions. You know, a lot of times we think, oh, well, that ain't really none of my business. Well, if I'm gonna be with you, it is my business. Just like what I'm doing is your business, right? And then Alia says, yes, we do have different views, but I do eat vegan. Bert, salad doesn't. What's happening? He says, hey, Demetra. Okay, let's see. And what's happening, by the way? And Pamela, what's happening? Good afternoon. And Al says, Ray out of jail. Kevin says, yes, Don, I was raised before integration. However, I married at 18 while in the Air Force. I met a 17-year-old. I got her pregnant. I didn't know what to do, so I asked my dad. He told me stop looking for a wife. He says he told me to stop looking for a wife. God already found you one. So parenting is essential. However, the modern vision for each other is working, having a job takes the place of parenting, and we must learn how to balance children's needs and our ability to love and be loved. That's why I was saying that it's not impossible to get back to that. We have, just like you said, traded raising our families and children and stuff like that for jobs and things. Back in those days, like I said, my mom was a stay-at-home. We had one car. You know, the store and stuff was walking distance, and my mom needed something from the store. She did that. She walked us to school, came and picked us up, and you know, she stayed at home. So I didn't remember us. Now, of course, that was the 70s. I don't remember us having a house full of gadgets and things. And you know, my mom sewed. She cooked from scratch. She did all of those things, made it necessary so that she could stay home. And my dad can go do his, work at his business and bring the money home. So I don't remember us struggling. But then again, I probably wouldn't remember that because I was a child, but my mom was able to stay. So people could do that now, but it's like, are you willing to give up the extra car? Are you really willing to give up all the TVs and the cable and, eating out every day? Are you somebody willing, and I'm going to say the woman because I'm old school, is she willing to stay home and cook from scratch and, just make the house a home again? Those are the questions people need to ask. And if the answer is no to any of that, then, well, that's why we are where we are, right? I know I probably got in a lot of trouble with that one, but Pamela says, not married, preference varied over the years, but never been without anything. Never been with anything other than black. Yeah, I'm saying here, like I said, to each his own. But I know for me, like I said, my daddy's a black man. I love my daddy to death, right? And so I just, saw that as the type of man I wanted to be with, a black man and a good black man on top of that. And Bernini says, you said absolutely right. And Pamela says, I have sons. I don't do that to his preference. Time will show. So basically, I'm getting in the way of their girlfriends. Well, I'm your mama. I'm your mama. Your mama's supposed to come first. Your mama's supposed to do that. And it's like,
Yeah,
wow.
it's really sad because a lot of moms do think that they're supposed to come before their son's mate or whoever they choose, and it's totally not right. I mean, and what's sad is mama could think that, but when son doesn't stand up and put mama in her place, that's the problem.
Right. And so, and let's see here. Oops. And Berdina says, Black men and women need to mend the fence, so to speak. We have to come together in order for us to save ourselves. Absolutely. I agree with that. We have got to come together and stop the divisiveness, because everybody has issues. Like, we're all we got at this point. We are all we have. We need each other. And then Pamela says 20 years spitting raps. If they haven't bit, they clearly find you trash.
No, I'm just waiting for the genre to change, because remember how it was positive, then it went to gangster. See, I'm with the Creflo Dollar crowd. I'm waiting for that thing to start trending, and then I'm gonna pop off at 60 years old.
What you gonna be rapping about?
Swing low, sweet chair. Just put any spin on it.
And Amondio, he says 410, no. And 682, that's a pass too. He said he'll wow. A 300-pound woman at 6'8". Okay, that sounds like Respucia. And Berdina.
No, they're from WNBA players that are like that. If they're like 6'8" and stuff, they're just thick.
Right up your alley, huh?
Yes, Lord.
Berdina says life was simple, basic, and meaningful. And Al says, Donovan, when I was 25, a girl once told me I wasn't like her ex-man because he gave her money, brought the groceries, paid the bill, took Junior to school, and didn't even beg her for any. I said, you better call his ass to come back home, and he can buy me something.
Right. We need him.
Stupid. And Sydney says, where in this country it says where in this country where you can live with one income. So basically, where can
nowhere.
I really beg to differ. I beg to differ. I think you can. I really think you can. But as I said, it's going to take people to go back to basics. Now, you're not going to live anywhere with the perfect example. Okay? The stimulus checks hit.
Woo! Yeah.
What was missing up out of Walmart?
TVs, radios. What else was missing? The TVs were number one. The LEDs were gone. The radios, of course, and the when I say radio, I mean the sound bars that go to the TV. The stuff all that stuff
you don't need. Now, we talking about people doing those type of things. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. You need two incomes to be like, what was you watching before the stimulus and the coronavirus happened? You didn't have no TV. Now all of a sudden you need to get the latest. So that's what I'm saying. If we go back to basics.
But here's the funny thing: those people that took their $1,200 and just pissed on it, it's a one-time check. So what you're gonna do when everything is gone? That's it. They're saying that's it. You're on your own. That's it.
Right. So I mean, like I said, I'm one of those people who feel like if you go to being a minimalist, which people were back in the day when one income was possible, then it is possible. But if the mama walking around with red bottoms on around the house and the mall and all that, yeah, you probably gonna need to go get yourself a job too. I'm just saying.
Well, and sure. Also what they're doing with the $1,200 stimulus check that I've been watching and stuff, that beauty salons and the nail salons, business is booming.
And it shouldn't be, because they're supposed to be closed. Right. And Al says, I have a friend whose girlfriend is mad at him because she wants more sex than he does. Your thoughts? Well, he's mad. She wants more sex than he does. You better get some blue pills or something. I mean, how many men would love to have that problem? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on, is she trying to like kill him? Like every 5 minutes? I mean, like, what's the frequency? But I mean, I think a lot of men would say that's a hey. I don't have a problem with it because normally it's the other way around. I got a headache. My tooth hurt. My hair hurts. Oh, not today. The dog was barking too loud yesterday. The neighbors, I can't do it today.
I got to study.
Right. Been out of school 10 years, but I forgot something I had to turn in. I mean, I'm just saying that sounds like a good problem. And then Pamela said Geritol wraps.
Yeah, I mean, because think about it. Who's the one that's got the money? The only people that are going to have money are Generation Xers and above.
No, she talking about
millennials barely got it.
She talking about you with your rapping, the Geritol rap.
I know. That's who's going to be buying my tape. Y'all come out.
And Al says, Donovan said Ray Ray out of jail. And so that basically Al is busting up laughing because you said Ray Ray, waiting for Ray Ray to get out of jail. And right.
Hey, one positive about this virus that is out there, this crap. All of you honeys out there that have been waiting for Ray Ray and Pookie to come out of jail, now they're letting them out if it's a nonviolent offense. So now y'all got y'all wish. So not only do you have $1,200 to deal with, now you got a man that has nowhere to go and gonna live up off you because there ain't no jobs for him to go get. So there it is. Good job. Good job.
I can't stand you. And Robin said, I'll just stick with Bob. He don't cheat. Don't. Okay, Bob. He don't cheat. Not disrespectful. Don't bring me anything that I might have wash it off with soap and water. But D better be glad we're like siblings. Otherwise, his ass will be in trash.
Hey, a quick story about Rosalind. Look, we were at Altus, Oklahoma. Now she was I mean, she still is. Big old thick thing. Yeah, just round and curved up, right? She scared me then. She scared me then.
She said you would be in traction, okay?
Yes. She scared me then. She looked like she could do some damage.
You would be one of those dudes like, listen, she wanted she wearing me out. Help.
Man, I'm telling you, look, she scared me back then. I was like,
and Cindy says that's Creplo's stage name. He's a rapper too. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And Pamela says I'm making it. And let's see. And Tay says,
yeah, wait. But back to Pam. You're making it, but look at what vocation you're in. You're in a vocation that's going to be lucrative no matter what. So, right. Big props to you. That's what I'm saying. Thinking.
Right. And Tay says, I want some of that free money they handing out. Okay.
Oh, no. If you got a job and retirement, you made the right decisions, you're not going to get that money. Sorry.
But I really am just through with people buying TVs, though. It's like, that's what you needed. You didn't need to maybe pay no bills with that money or save it even. You didn't need to do something with it. You went and bought a TV like Black Friday or something. It's crazy.
Or like we've been saying on our previous shows, $1,200. Okay, there ain't much to buy. You don't need a TV. You don't need this. You don't need that. But you got $1,200 you're sitting on. Your mates and your buddies don't want to go into a group economic to form a business. Okay, whatever. Okay, you can't do that. But the stock market was low. You could jump on some stocks with $1,200 and then make some money off of that.
Right. And Tay says, Al says, tell your audience about my coworker, about him having a wife and his well taken care of side piece. That's another issue that this lady in the video was probably talking about. His coworker or whoever. Hopefully, I don't know if I'm friends with him. He has a wife, and then he has a woman on the side who he pays her rent, gives her money, she's a trapped woman, and completely has a wife at home. Now, see, my wife, that's the stuff that's gonna get you murdered. Okay, hot grits. Well, you will wish for hot grits.
Well, wasn't there a guy named Steve McNair that did the same thing?
Hell, Steve McNair,
the football player. Remember, he was murdered by a side chick.
Yeah. And where's he now? He pushing up daisies.
Exactly. I mean, the whole thing could go left. The whole thing.
it's like, to me, it's greed. It's pure greed for anybody to have other people on the side, whether you're a man or you're a woman. It's greed. Because as I always say, and I've always said in all my relationships, please, baby, please don't drag me along in your nonsense. Like, I don't want to share my man. If you're the sharing type, please let a sister know so a sister can go. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be a part of that.
Wow.
But sometimes that just goes, and those are the dudes she talking about. Oh, baby, I never hurt you. I would never do those things to you. Oh, no, I would protect your heart, man. I would never do nothing like that to you. And then 6 months later. And Brandon says they traded that RCA in. Berdina says, we can reinvent parenting that will incorporate both working parents. The kicker is the dedication to manage your marriage and your family. We can do it. It absolutely can be done.
I got one better, Berdina. How about this? Why don't we start electing people to Congress that is going to change the dynamics to make jobs affordable, to where one person is all they need is that one job, and you don't have to have two parents to do that. You have a serious wage to take care of a family.
Right, exactly. Right. But and this is what I was saying too about the stimulus check. So from what I understand, people who make $75,000 and more aren't getting it. But the other crazy part is there's people who's making $200,000 and they don't have anything to show for it, who could have really used that $1,200. So it's not necessarily what you make, it's what you keep.
And in the meantime, while you guys love your little $1,200, millionaires are getting a $1.6 million tax break. People that don't need it, they're getting another tax break, another $1 million to go into the stash.
Right.
But what do we do? $1,200. The money.
Right.
Come on.
And Cindy says, I pay 6 G's every 3 months in taxes. What did that $1,200 do for me? Wow. Exactly. Yeah. Just save it to where they can take it out again. I don't know. And Pamela, you're laughing at Kevin. You say, and not only can it be done, it is done to this day. What Demetra said is on point, that we must be consciously seeking to achieve the goal that promotes Africans healing and sharing to grow in better understanding of why we are worth it. Consciously choose to make relationship work. Absolutely. I mean, people think relationships are easy. You're supposed to open a box, set the relationship on the table, turn it on, and it just works, right? You have to put some work into it. And of course, nobody's perfect, but I think you can achieve what you will. It's just that simple. If you want to have your family survive on one income, then make it work. People do it all the time. It's just our systems. I believe that we need to have 2 Mercedes and 20 TVs in the house. Every kid needs to have an $800 cell phone and Jordans and clothes everywhere. And we need to have all these gadgets, and we need to go on all these fabulous vacations in Disneyland. And I want to stay home.
Demetra, I've told you several times, stop putting my business on the web. Several times.
You can afford to do that. And Pamela says, we are not getting $1,200. I am good. Still working, and was asked to extend after this contract. I'm thankful and humble. Yeah. And that's what I said too. I'm grateful that I haven't been harmed financially by what's going on. Like extremely grateful. I know that there are a lot of people who are struggling due to what's going on. So God is good. And let's see. And Al, he says, Donovan, you have my stomach hurting. I can just hear Al now. And Pam says, Pamela rather said they are furloughing people in my career, Donovan. So she's one of the fortunate ones. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I know they're furloughing people, but you're in a career that is very lucrative. So
okay. And then she also said they won't tell on themselves, Demetra. Men want the thrill of being secretive. Yeah, right. I mean, it's like you can be secretive. Just don't be secretive with me. Be secretive with them other women who can do it. Like there's women. But listen, this is like a news flash. Maybe it's not. There are some women and men who are like, cool. I'll be Wednesday and Thursday. Just come through. I know you got other bulls on the side. Well, I'm good with that because I want to do my. There's people like, believe it or not, there's people.
Where are those women?
There's plenty. I have a good friend for years. He had two of them that knew about each other. And they was good. But again, he took care of him. Wasn't just like, hey, baby, I'm just gonna hop in the window real quick, bring in a little piece of pizza. We gonna eat that for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna leave. He was good to both of them. So like, to them, like, how could I say no, right? And if you guys hear anything in background, that's my niece. She's very demonstrative, if you will. And let's see. And Al says, all the Black people here are saying they are taking the stimulus check and buying some lobster tails. Stop it. Oh, he said lobster tails. You know what? He's so dumb. I can't. Look how he spelled it. Just silly. And Bernina says, absolutely good thought. And Rosalind says, I'm with Demetra. I don't want to be the main, the side, or the other. I want to be the only. Yeah, I like baffled. I'm baffled by that. Give me what I want. If I say I don't want to have anything to do with that, then let me decide. You don't get to decide that for me, right?
Right. Take your choice away from me.
Yeah. And then let's see. And Cindy says, Donovan, that's not going to change. There's a pipe dream trying to revert back to he said that's a pipe dream rather than trying to revert back to the 50s. I mean, there's people doing it though. There's people doing it.
It's going to take a sacrifice to do it, but it could be done, like as Demetra said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 49. I'm 49. But I remember when I was in elementary school, junior high school, we had home economics where they taught it just back in those days, it was predominantly girls. They taught us how to, balance the checkbooks and, how to bake and cook, the essentials of cooking and sewing. So if you're not willing to do those things, then I don't know. Yeah, you're going to need two jobs. But if you're willing to have one car, let's say, all right, honey, when you get home, I'm going to go to the store, or, give me some exercise. I'm going to walk. I have a car. My daughter has a car. There's days that we walk to the store and it's, 2 miles coming and going. So about 4 miles round trip, we'll just walk. Back in the day, people did that. They did what they say. They walked the country mile, to go. So if you're not do those things, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, I've noticed before this pandemic actually kicked off, and we said it on previous shows, I would just go and observe at malls. I see the Arab lady at the mall going around in circles, getting back into shape in her Mercedes SUV. So there's nothing wrong with having two cars because that's a necessity that she needs to take care of the kids while he's at work, wherever that work is. But he's working a very lucrative job, or maybe working a lucrative company that he owns at the market, wherever he's doing. So it can be done in a modern fashion. It's just, what is the extreme? Does she really need, you might not be able to get your nails done. You might have to do it at home. Demetra does her nails at home and they look fine.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not willing to take care of you, like I don't spend any outside money on my hair, my face, my nails, not because I'll do all that myself. And as my brother always says, YouTube is the new college. You can learn anything on YouTube. Like now, a lot of people can't go get those things done. Are you taking the opportunity to learn how to cut your own hair, or do your own facials and your nails? Are you learning how to do those things? But I learned from the women who did that stuff, who, took the time to do their own stuff. And so I learned those things. I'm just not one of those women who gonna go give nobody $200 to get my feet and my hands. I'm just not gonna do it. I could do it $200. $200 a month or every 2 weeks, or how often you getting it done. That makes the difference whether your man can stay home. If you're willing to say, I can do that.
Think about this. If women were kind of like our parents back in the day, which they can still be, the $200 that Dee is talking about, when we go on our trip to Jamaica, we go on the trip, our family trip, whatever, Southwest stock is $38 right now. They're having an annual virtual meeting coming up that I'm, of course, been invited to because I'm an owner. but my point is that little money that she's saving, you could take that money and invest it in something else to bring even more income into the family.
Right. Or she could start a little side business at home. I don't know, whatever that might be, get a little income. So there's ways to do it, right? And then Kevin says, as I am good with being the man that is the provider when my woman is good with staying out. Benefit from having a man completely take care of me. I've always taken care of myself, and I don't have a problem with doing it, but I watched my parents do it, with my mom with my dad, and my mom with my other dad, who was my stepdad, but I refer to him as my dad as well. I watched them do it as well. My mom stayed at home till I was 18. So, and Mondial, you says, I wish I could take a picture and post the page. Which page is that? And Alice says, Donovan, my mom had a friend who, if she met different men in a week, she would tell all of them it's her birthday coming up soon to see who would buy her a gift. And that's the one she would talk to.
Yeah. I mean, but see, those are traits that have been down for generation to generation. And somehow, I mean, it's just like, how did the millennials not know how to make a balanced meal for their children? When we were coming up, you had your starch, you had a meat, you had a vegetable, it was balanced.
Right.
Now they just give them sodium. Here you go. Just eat this salt. And that's the meal. But true story. Back in the day, I met this girl and she invited me over to have dinner at her house, right? I'm thinking, okay, I'm there. I made it. This is it. But the catch was, she said, oh, well, what do you want to eat? And I said, oh, let's just, have a roast or something like that. She goes, well, buy the roast and I'll cook it up for you. Now and she was an older sister because I dated older sisters back then. Me being the young Thundercat that I was, I go and buy this big old meat, right? I bring it up and she cooks it up for it. It was a great meal. Great. We had a great time. Great meal. I went home. But then I noticed something. I said, you know what? It ain't like I ate the whole roast. Where's the other part of that roast? What she did was she cut the roast in half and put half into the refrigerator for herself or later on and cooked the half that we needed. That was something that was taught down the road. I'm not saying it was a game, but I'm saying that's pretty smart on her position to say, hey, I'm bringing the whole roast. I want to impress her. Okay, great. She only cooks half of it and keeps the other half for herself.
You know what she did with that other half?
Other dude. Remember, I'm a young Thundercat, so I don't know any better.
She gave you the one with the part with the most fat on it. Right. I'm just kidding. I'm sure she was a lovely woman. And let's see. Cindy says, I'm thankful I'm still working, but it was a stressful day, though. I'm glad I'm off. I took off this weekend, lost my uncle this week to non-COVID-19 related. Well, my condolences to you. And I'm glad you're feeling so much better because Sydney was one of the people who got the COVID-19 because he works in the medical field. So I'm glad that you're taking some time off. And Pamela, you said, I always realize if I accepted the one breadwinner idea, something could happen to that, be it divorce, death, and disability. Well, go ahead.
I got to say this. Another thing that has been passed down from generation to generation. Even my mom told me about this, being her son, about women. My mother always told me, one day there's going to come Mad Day, and every woman should always be prepared for Mad Day. So when he brings you that check, which is the way I was raised, of course she's skimming off the top and she's putting something away for when that day comes. And any man out there that doesn't think that a woman isn't stuffing some money away for a rainy day or, something to happen, when did all this stop? This type of thing. But I understand where Pam's coming. You want to be prepared for that, but Pam's a smart. I mean, obviously you're a highly intelligent woman because I went to school with you. I'm sure you're prepared. regardless of.
And I always say too, like my mom, she had a nursing degree. She was a nurse when she met my dad. And so she had those skills that if something happened, she could go back to work. But I think, and I'm not saying you're saying this, Pam, but I think we should dispel the myth that if you stay at home mom, that you don't have any marketable skills, that you are, I think if you are staying home, you should be working on yourself. Whether that's going to school or something, like you can hustle at home too. But I don't think we should, I don't know if, my mom worried about that as much, or my grandmother worried about that. People just got into relationships and really just, hope they work and work into it, but I get what you're saying. And Mondale, he says, page 8 and 9, page 12 and 15, I have the whole book. You're talking about Willie Lynch. I have read it, and the reason why I said that is authenticity is debatable, because a lot of people have said this is not real because it wasn't, some of the terms and stuff in there weren't terms back in the 1700s, just certain things. But I agree with the premise of it. So I don't know if it's real or not, but I agree with the premise of it and the things that it talked about. So as I said, I think it was actually written, if I'm not mistaken, in the 1990s, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. And Al says, Ray out of jail, Donovan, I'm dead. Pam says, I wanted another provider, but people picky, I tell you.
Yeah.
And let's see, and Mondial says 200 by 180 shirts and sell them for $5. Yeah, I mean, there's things you could do. If a woman's at home, she can do those things. Like, it's nothing saying that you just have to be at home, like.
Right. especially nowadays in the day of the internet and all that other stuff. I mean, people are making a killing, on eBay, or if you're at Amazon, you can sell on Amazon, give them a cut. But again, your stuff goes out.
Right. And then Kevin says, okay, I'm only 66. So I have a focal point. My 20-year-old is attempting to live a life where he is working for his lady and child. However, his lady feels like people will talk badly about her and not leaving the home. Well, I mean,
yeah, see, she's been brainwashed. She's been brainwashed, because that's the new norm. Oh, well, I've got to work too. No, you don't. I mean, I'm going to show you how brainwashed our generation is and generations are afterwards. In most countries, like in Sweden and stuff, if you retire from a job, you can go ahead and get another job. Legislation, having the right people in Congress, you can go get another job. But the most you're ever going to make is minimum wage. Here, you got fools that will retire, right? They got the experience, they got the connections. They will go get another lucrative job. Look at these CEOs that jump from company to company as CEOs, taking all of the wealth. But it's supposed to go like this. You retire from one good job, okay? So let's say you started at 18 years old, you left high school, you got a good job, you worked that company for 20 years, you raised your children, you bought your house, whatever. Okay, not a multi-millionaire because you didn't make good investments. Okay, that's no big deal. But you have a pension coming in. Now you're about 42 years old. That's still fairly young to live the rest of your life, to travel with your old lady or your old man. You guys just go do your thing. No, you're not going to have the big, 2,700 square foot, 3,500 square foot home. But you're doing what you want to do. You're relaxed. You're not going to punch a clock. That's what you're supposed to do. The American dream is to work one good job, not go out and say, oh, I got to raise my grandkids. Oh, I got to go I got to have. That is what everybody has been programmed to think. I'm going to be a slave and work until I'm dead. Not me. I ain't doing it.
And I want to touch upon that point before I get to you guys' other comments about what you said about the houses. Why do you need a 3,000 square foot home with a husband, wife, and 2 kids or 3 kids? Why do you need a house that big? I mean, I remember my siblings and I and my parents, we grew up, we had a 2-bedroom house for a long time. And the rooms were bigger back then because the houses were built better. But my siblings and I shared a room for a long time. Yep. We didn't all have our own room, and we never saw each other on TV, refrigerator, and we manage under that household. So I don't. That's another thing.
And remember this: in that little 2-bedroom house you had a nice backyard and a nice front yard.
Right.
So if you wanted to go out and play, you can go play with that. I mean, I don't know.
Right. And Mondayo says, I will post on my page, Willie Lynch. Okay. And Cindy says, is Al serious about his mom or is he joking? I know he's probably serious about his mom's friend is who it was. And Allie says, Donovan, every time my grandparents went out on a date, my grandfather had a rule: leave your purse at home and bring your smile.
That's it.
That
well, I had a rule too when I went on a date. This side of the menu with all the expensive stuff, the steak, the steak fries, and the Coke, you can walk away scot-free. That was my rule.
Yeah. Cindy says, Cindy says, also, I need Donovan to change his name back. And Mia, what's happening? Says, at least she can cook. Okay.
Right. And Mia's my little cousin in New Roads. We used to call her Meow because she loved cats.
Oh,
as you see, most of us are animal lovers.
And Cindy says, however, Donovan, my old profession, women, no matter what race, who was kept, could assess the husband's bank account after he died.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the husband, I think you should be on each other's bank accounts. Now you should have your own little separate one, but we know most bank accounts will let you have a beneficiary. We want to put your husband and your wife as a beneficiary when you die, right? I mean, because those are the things we should be talking about doing. Don't try to do no trick stuff to each other. You know, the husband died and find out he left $1 million to the side piece or something like that.
Right.
I mean, I would dig you back up.
You know, the funny thing is we're speaking of, how that's supposed to go. Now, you've got a lot of these people that are, what are they called? Nursing assistants, CNAs. Is that what they're called?
Yes.
CNAs and stuff like that. My niece is a CNA or whatever. I don't know what level she's at, but she's in that field. And I'm coming to find out when I'm running into a lot of these people that are CNAs or I guess that first rung. I was in the military, and I'm just saying this for for you guys to think about this. If you have friends and relatives that are into that field, I was in the military. What is the one thing you got to have to be in the military that you can't forego no matter what? Dee, do you know?
A head attached to your neck. That could be anything.
Insurance.
Oh, got it.
If I died, my parents or my wife or somebody's going to have insurance. I was reading a report today where they were saying that a lot of these frontline CNAs that work at the old folks' homes and stuff, 70% of them don't have insurance, and they're on the front lines. Crazy.
Gotta have insurance.
How do white people get most of their wealth?
Life insurance.
Life insurance.
Right. Hey, Frank, what's happening? He says, yes. And Al says, when my mom was in her early 30s, she used to get off work at 10 p.m. And Donovan, my grandfather, would pick her up from work because he didn't want her on the road late at night by herself.
Absolutely. No. See, that was in the day of chivalry. We're in the days of gangster. Look, I got your car. I know I'm supposed to pick you up at 10 o'clock tonight after you get done with your warehouse job. I fell asleep. So walk. That's where we're at. Chivalry is gone. I mean, not that it doesn't exist. It's just that these kids don't practice it. It's sad. And the women don't demand.
And they're not taught it anymore.
Right.
And Al said he was serious, Sydney. And Frank says, turn hotels into permanent affordable housing studios.
How about this? We've got warehouses all over the United States, empty warehouses. Why don't we start turning those into affordable housing areas, units?
No, because they waiting for these big time investors to finally turn it into something. But, wait for it. Just wait for it, because especially now, it's probably not going to happen. And to your point, Frank, a lot of these hotels are probably going to go belly up.
Not the Trump hotels.
Right. And Amandalia says, boy, you better get you a AARP card discount at Ruth Chris. Hey, yes. Didn't Ruth Chris get like $20 million in his bailout money? I believe I read somewhere that Ruth Chris got $20 million of the bailout money. I guess the business loan or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what kind of, I mean, I've never been to Ruth Chris, but I heard it was good. I'm a vegan, so I can't eat there, but $20 million, huh?
Mm.
And Frankie say New York is still bouncing homeless people around shelters, getting infected. Yeah, I did hear that as well. I mean, I've never been in a shelter before. I heard, they're pretty close together. So it's like, and in homeless shelters, people are coming in and out. It's never the same person, right? I don't know if they're sheltering in place there, but I would imagine, yeah, I'm sure the infection rate is pretty high because we just know the state of homelessness. They're not always able to, clean themselves and all that kind of stuff. So it's a sad state of affairs, honestly. And as Cindy says, CNA or nursing assistant. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mondayo says, yo, Don, I want to put some money on Southwest. You got a broker I can reach out to?
There's an app you can use called Stash. Just download it. They have tutorials in there and teach you how to do it. Just start. You can start with $1 and put 50 cents a week and build your portfolio up.
And of course, we're not experts. We're not giving you that advice as an absolute. We just, it's an opinion. So legally speaking, right. And then you say, I still do that. And then Frank says, I miss California, LA, downtown, Art District 4th, Alameda.
You don't want to be down there right now. That's where all the homeless are congregated. And there's a big, wasn't there a typhoid breakout or something over there?
Yeah, they had a bunch of stuff that they said they haven't seen since, eons ago, diseases and stuff that are coming back due to the excrement, if you will, homeless people leave. Well, what are they going to do? Right. You got to go to the bathroom, can't use a bathroom in a business or hotel or anything like that. So you go where you go. They need to fix that. I mean, that shouldn't be the case. And Mondayo says, Dave Chappelle said it best. And what was that? And Al says, at Morton Steakhouse, Donovan, what comes with steak and shrimp?
Absolutely. I agree with you, brother.
Y'all fill in the blank, because if you don't want that, your ass better order the jalapeno poppers.
The man's a genius.
Wrong. Wrong. Thank God I'm a vegan. And Mia, you say, they still do call me that, and I still love cats. But back on stimulus, I was able to pay 6 months in lights and 3 months of rent. Wow. So good. Hopefully until something happens. But TVs and things is not an option at this time, especially when we can barely find toilet paper. You know what? You're a smart girl. And more people should be like you. Go ahead and get the burden up off you for a couple of months.
Yes. And let me make this suggestion to everybody out there. You can go and get a bidet from Amazon for $35. Now, people say, well, I don't like the bidet. I'll tell you what, if you have a bidet, your toilet paper usage will go down significantly. And for women, it is hygienically better than just having toilet paper.
I'll take your word for it. You about to sway me over. But I got like 100,000 rolls of toilet paper, so we good.
Right. But if you had a bidet, no matter what happens, you're going to be good for a long, 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 long time.
All right. I was thinking something else, but I'm going to keep it clean. Says New York, a unique situation. I was asked to go with another person to help. They are regretting that move. Yeah, because I saw not too long ago a plane full of nurses and doctors coming from LA to New York. They were, gung ho. They were going to go out there and help, but it sounds like it's like, yeah. But if that's your calling, you're in a medical profession. I guess you take the oath to save lives. So I don't think most people in the medical profession signed up for this, because a lot of this was avoidable. But as I say, if you are in the medical profession, my hat goes off to you. You are the first responders. And they said, yes. It wasn't you, Donovan, that was telling me that a lot of first responders, they're saying in this COVID thing will probably end up with PTSD.
Yeah.
Just from the things that they've gone through.
Yeah. Has anybody ever noticed? Okay. One thing about the military that they train us, especially since the Desert Storm in the 90s, we deal with chemical attack and stuff like that. So we know how to decon and redo that. Have you ever wondered why, with all this stuff that's going on, they haven't utilized military, Army National Guard or any of these units to set up these decon situations to help reduce this pandemic? Has anybody ever thought about that? Like, why are we using the military? This is a national situation.
Or I'm thinking that because they want certain people to die off.
Yes. There you go. Good job.
I mean, to me, it's just it's simple. I mean, and people aren't understanding. I mean, look at something like Texas and Florida. They opening up the beaches tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is like, get your ass back outside, go back to work, and there's plenty of scientific data to say, hey, that's not good to do. And so a lot of people, whether you know it or not, depending, I thank God that I live in California. I know it's expensive to live here and all of that, but I thank God during this time that I live here and that we got a governor that's got some sense.
Does he?
He does, for the most part. I know where you're going. I know where you're going. Right. But I'm saying at least he's making the decision to say we're not making no moves as far as people going outside until we know that we've got this behind us.
But you can take $320 million from undocumented workers and give it to them.
Well, yeah, so I don't agree with that. But I do agree with him keeping the stay-at-home order in place for now. Yeah. Illinois, they're on top of it because they're suffering a lot. New York, obviously, we saw Cuomo and Trump kind of trade back and forth not too long ago. And so it's just... people just need to wake up and understand where we are right now. Trump and his buddies and people who have all this money, they're not ever going to be in the line of fire. They're never going to have to go work at a Taco Bell or a department store or any of that kind of stuff because they own those things. So they're mandating that you guys, because I work from home, okay? Mm-hmm. You guys go back out there and put your life at risk. Yeah. So maybe they're also saying, well, there's people who are out there anyway. They don't want to stay in the house anyway.
Well, like I said, when you look at what's going on, if you watch the news, all these, here in California, the Mexicans and the blacks, it's like an everyday thing. I see people at the park. They put police tape around the the playground. Mexicans just walked right over that, said, hey, go ahead and play. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Right. So, it's scary out there. The fact that they're like, hey, go out there. So it's going to be okay. And I asked on one of the forums, I said, why are you guys opening the businesses, but you won't open the schools if everything is okay? Why not open everything? Send the kids back to school too, if everything is good.
And then, on one of my shows and some of our farmer shows, we keep talking about changing our mindset and how to learn from this. This isn't a one-time thing. This is going to happen again.
Sure.
Within 8 months from now, it's going to happen again. I've been trying to tell people we need to change our mindset from a worker's mentality to an owner's mentality.
Absolutely.
Even though this pandemic has happened, Demetra knows, and the people that know me know, I sit around. When that stock market hit, we took a hit. It was like, right now, I'm making money hand over fist. And that's what we're trying to get people to do. You've got to take a risk and do something different. Yep. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing. I have stock in Jack in the Box, let's say. Go over there and eat all you want. Please. Please. Just what you got to do. So while you're doing that, Demetra and the rest of us, we will be in Africa, wherever we're going to be traveling. And, just money's just coming in, sitting on my butt. And this is what we've been trying to share with you guys to think of something a little bit different.
Right. Absolutely. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I no worries over here. Knock on wood. And let's see here. And Mondale says, got it. And Kevin says, Donovan, Demetra, can you guys put the Spanish flu of 1918 pandemic into your topic form? We can. We actually mentioned it at the beginning of the show that this is not the first pandemic. No, actually, we did mention this because I was actually somebody is had me do it. I got so much going on, you guys. Somebody actually has put me in their documentary about this, and so I was actually filming something about it from my house about it. And so I mentioned the Spanish flu of 1918. So this is not our first pandemic, but it's our first modern day, if you will, like to this proportion. So yeah, we will talk about that. Do a little bit more research on it. It took out a lot of people. Did it take out? They said millions.
Well. Also remember, yeah. Also remember when you're talking about pandemic, it's not just the 1918 pandemic, because we
Donovan froze up a little bit. We'll wait for him to come on back. Donovan, you probably, hopefully you can hear me, but I'll continue to talk until you unfreeze yourself. Sydney says also E-Trade. And hey, Pamela, he says, I hope they will open the state soon. I know they are trying to. Well, they can't open it until we are, it's safe to do so, because they open it too soon, then it's going to continue to spread, it being the coronavirus. And so, you know I don't want to have to worry about that as much as I do already. And apparently says, yes, already occurring the PTSD. It's a different environment. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine so, working in an environment like that, wondering if you're going to get it. You're seeing so much devastation. Donovan will come back, you guys. Seeing so much devastation that's taking place. I'd imagine that does mess with your mind to some degree, right? And let's see. And Al says, women snoop through a man's pockets looking for a B number, take money out of his wallet. My mom used to see if my stepdad had shit. Frank says 501k recoveries. Amen. He meant 401k or 501k. And then Cindy says, it's bad in New York and New Jersey. Yeah, I mean, you guys are getting hit the most, right? In New York and New Jersey, obviously, with the coronavirus. And so, you guys have a good governor. I don't know what his track record has been, but I do know from what I see that, he ain't playing no games with Trump. He's like, man, get out of here. I'm not going to put my people's life at risk because you're trying to make money. And that's basically what it is. It's like, we cannot lose any more money. We need you guys to get back out there on the stroll. That's what it is. Because remember when Trump was trying to open up the government on Easter? Well, we see that didn't go over so well. It didn't happen. In fact, things got worse. And so I just think things are going to continue to get worse. You have these greedy governors who are buckling down or bowing down to, let's just keep it real, the Trump supporters. We know a lot of them are out there at the capitals and the governor's mansions and things like that, picketing and saying, open up the government. It's our right. You don't have the right to do this to us. And so they're just doing their will at the expense of people's lives. And so it's messed up. I don't know if Donovan can get back in. Hopefully he can. Maybe his internet went down or something. And let's see. And Pamela says, I'm glad I'm in California winning with this. Yeah, I'm glad too, because I can't imagine being in Texas or New York where they are forcing people to get back out there. And let's see. And Frank says, make no sense. Everybody make no mistakes. Everybody's been dying from COVID-19. Ain't picking race. So everybody is. Of course, they're saying predominantly Black people are dying the most. We don't know how true it is, but that's what they say. And Sydney, you being on the front lines, the very front lines in New York, in New Jersey, you could probably attest to who you see coming in the most and who you see dying from it the most. And you also say, Sydney, I am waiting on wave 3. As a lot of people say, there is going to be a wave 3, especially letting people go roam the beaches and the parks now. But they are saying, but wear a mask. Make sure you go out there and wear a mask and continue to social distance. And so it's like, well, if I got to continue to wear a mask, why are we going out there just yet? If it's not really safe to get back in the water, if you will. And then Kevin says, yes, Washington governor is doing far more. In Washington, that's the other one. Washington governor is doing far more than the federal government. And I'm not ashamed to have voted for Jay Inslee. Yeah, they also said Washington is doing a good job of trying to keep people safe. And Frankie say, please stress the issue, mask and gloves, goggles, a must. Yeah, well, so, and Cindy, you can probably help me out with this for sure. And like in California, they're saying, or Riverside or California, they're saying that you have to wear masks when you go out to avoid spreading it. Now, the glove thing, I'm not really quite sure on, because I think what people don't understand is while you're wearing gloves out in public in your store, you're touching everything. Then you got to touch your keys to get back in the car. You might touch your cell phone, then you're going to touch everything else. You might touch your face, and all that. So you've got all the things that your gloves have touched. it's touching everything else. So I just think maybe they're saying maybe go without the gloves and just wash your hands, keep your hands clean, right? And let's see. And you also say Black people not invincible. Yeah, like we thought, we was Corona free, and then wham, so they say, right? I don't know what happened to Donovan. Hopefully he'll come back before we get out of here. And let's see. And then he says it's a war zone, and that's what I understand. It's horrible there. So like I said, my hat goes off to you. I would not, and this is just me, I would not want to trade places with you, but I will send my prayers with you. I was never one that could work in the medical field. My mom, like I said, was a nurse for a very long time. And so there he is. I thought maybe you got snatched up by a zombie or something.
Nah, I didn't pay my cable bill. I had to make a quick call.
All them stocks with no cable bill, huh?
Yeah, no. The quick power outage.
Okay, I figured that's what happened. And then Mia says the kids are doing virtual school now, but if both parents work or a single parent household has to work, who's monitoring the kids with school? Because most relatives work also. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Unfortunately, single parents aren't able to do that, to stay home unless you got an at-home gig, but don't ever get the game twisted. Mrs. Fields was a stay-at-home mom. I believe she had a very bad situation and she just started making cookies, and the rest is in every mall history. J.K. Rowling, the lady, the author who wrote the Harry Potter series, she said the idea came to her when she was on a train in London, wherever she's from, and she happens to be the first billionaire author. Now, before that, she was on welfare. She could not take care of her kids. It was bad for her. In fact, she said lots of publishing houses turned her down and said, this is some crap. We will never pick it up. And now she's turned that book about a little boy who was a wizard into $1 billion fortune. So I'm saying that to say, just because you're at home, don't mean that. And I'm not saying about you, Mia. I'm not saying this about you at all. Just because you're at home don't mean that you can't be productive, which is why it kind of low-key pissed me off to see a lot of people went out and bought TVs, because I feel like when you're buying TVs, you're going to buy more comfort. We are not in a situation or a time anymore where people can afford to be comfortable. This is the time to be having ideas come and go and try to get up out of where we are, especially us as Black people. We are out of time. Donovan and I always make the point to say that we are 12 years from being a slave, because in 12 years, the Black average wealth is going to be zero. We as Black people are going to be broke, right? And so we need to start tapping into our talents and our gifts and try to figure out what we can do differently. And as Donovan said earlier, get out of the mindset of having a job. I know jobs are important. I'm not saying they're not, but maybe some of us, should start thinking about creating businesses so that we can be in control the next time. Because we, as Black people, are out of time. And so, where there's a will, there's a way. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say. And Frank says the Black Plague, 1345, 30 million people died, killed half of Europe. Absolutely. The Black Plague was devastating. And they're not talking about you, Donovan. They're actually talking about the Black Plague. I'm just kidding. And Kevin says 500 million to 100 million people worldwide. And government knew that to stop the spread, a business had to shut down, and that wasn't acceptable for governments. And that's exactly why they didn't do it. They didn't want to shut down the government or any business at all, because they knew they would lose money. And like I said, this is totally on Trump's head that so many people have died and gotten affected by it because he stuttered when he should have been making decisions.
Right. Sure. Another thing you guys got to think about. Now they're throwing billions and trillions of dollars to everybody. They're throwing money at the millionaires, billionaires. Our California governor gave $320 million to non-citizens. You go to another country and see what they're doing for their non-citizens. Nothing. But my point is this. When we as Black people ask for reparations, the first thing they talk about, how you going to pay for it? Well, how are you going to pay for this? They're not concerned about it. So that should be a major talking point for us moving forward. So and me and Demetri and I have done the numbers. They owe us 17 trillion lump sum payment with 3 trillion over 25-year period. That is just the bare minimum that they should give us. This is what you should be talking about. That comes down, if you had that kind of money, that would come down, I think that comes down to almost 400 and something $1,000 per Black person, right?
Right.
If not more, if we exclude the Caribbean Blacks and the people who don't really deserve it. We exclude those people, the people that are whatever. But per Black person that we know of now, looking at least $300,000. Wouldn't that pay off a bill? Wouldn't that buy you a house? Wouldn't that start you a business collectively? I mean, that's what we should be talking to our representatives and congressional people and getting people in there that's not going to fight for reparations. They're going to get it done.
Right. No,
and don't tell me they can't do it. Look what they're doing right now. Where's this money coming from?
Right. No, absolutely. And let's see here. And then Cindy says, it's true, we are dying in an alarming rate. Yeah, and Cindy's on the front lines. Pamela says, it is the core morbidity. Somebody was telling me about that before. Also, African Americans do not trust the health system. Yeah, we got a lot of right not to, but what do you do at this point? And then you also say they will believe a YouTube rumor quicker than a vetted site. Pensacola has a street party Sunday. Yeah, it's just like some of the conspiracy theories, it's like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all just, it's crazy to me. And then Cindy says, people really don't understand how to take the gloves off. Right. And I used to be a dental assistant for 2 seconds. So I went to dental assisting school and I learned how to do it. I won't give you a demonstration here, but
in the military right now, they're saying there's over 8 million people in the United States that have been trained from their military experience into decontaminate. So they know how to do that stuff. Why aren't these people being utilized and taken?
Should they probably scared?
Yeah, but it just goes to show you,
Right. Okay, and let's see here. And Al says, cable bill. My stepdad is so stupid. He sold his TV to pay the cable bill. Oh my God. And then Pamela says, you can do anything if you want to. Yes, what you put your mind to. You got, like Donovan said it beautifully, you got to change your belief systems. Like, you got to believe you can and then act upon it. Because, and I tell you guys this is just my small little story. Anybody who knows me knows I like to talk. Shut up, Al. We don't need your jokes. I like to talk. And one of the things I've always wanted to do was reach out to people via communication, and started doing this show. I started in this room, and then Donovan says, bring your Black ass over here. I got the studio, do it here. And that took a long time. And I finally went, and then he, said, start a YouTube, and I did it. And, this is going on 4 years. And now I'm on someone else's show Monday through Sunday, about an hour. Dr. Gary Monroe is what we call him. And I posted and shared. And Donovan, I want you to come on there sometimes as well. You have an invite.
Well, I want my check. I want my damn check.
Right? People have reached out to me to do their other shows and, just do different documentaries. So the point that I'm not saying that to brag or anything like that, but it started with a phone and a belief system that I can do it. Now, was I scared at first? Yeah. First time I went live, I was like, oh my God. No, it's going to be one person on there. People are going to laugh at me and they think I don't know it. But I said, you know what? So what? And the rest is history. And I know, things are going to get bigger and better from here. That's just the way I believe, which is why I keep going. And so it is important to keep going. You can do anything, like you said, Pamela, that you want to. And Frank says, God slowed the world down. Give us a chance to rethink. I 100% believe that is true. I believe that your world is now balancing out. I really, in certain areas.
Since we're talking about belief, how many of you guys have read that article about that pastor that died from the COVID?
In Virginia?
Yeah. Now, I look at it one of two ways. Either he had little of no faith, but didn't the Bible say, if you read the Bible, obey Caesar's laws? So it didn't make sense for him to be like, I'm covered by the blood.
No, we are Caesar. We are the government. We making it.
I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. What happened if you were covered by the blood of Jesus? You're dead.
Right. Now you're seeing Jesus every day.
Every day.
And Al says an interesting dichotomy. The stimulus check came, and the mayor opens up for more for of the city's days, 2 days straight. Yeah, right? Connect the dots. Oh, we're not gonna let all that money sit in your bank accounts at home. We want to go to Forever 21 and the Nike and all that other stuff. Absolutely good point. Cindy says I can't really get into specifics, but HIPAA laws rather. But when people are registered, we take your license information. Okay. And okay. And then Al says comorbidity is the movement of two diseases simultaneously. Damn. And so that's why we as Black people are being affected by it the most, because, you know, if you have diabetes and then you get the coronavirus and then it's a wrap pretty much probably for you, right? And then Pamela says, Sirius platform next, believe in this. Sirius. Oh, absolutely. You know, and I honestly believe the sky is the limit, which is why I don't stop, you know.
See, now we were talking about, you know, starting where you are. We've always said that with Dee. She started in her room. I was begging her. It took like over a year to get Dee out of that room because she had like 13 people. She's talking to her friends. I was like, look, you got this great message. You know, there's other people that want to hear it. Now, with me saying that, the whole key of this, talking to my cousin Mia, she's in this, our little town in New Roads where we're from. And it's not a little town. It's like 100,000 people or something like that. But starting a show for herself, that's something that she can do right there. We've got to start talking to each other and putting the real information out there, or giving people another thing to think about versus what the media wants us to say. So that's something that she can start right in her own little area. A good example would be like Demetra and I, we like Philip Scott. He's down in Houston. He's been on the show. Well, he's trying to steal Dee, but I want my money. I want my money. Okay. But it's just little things like that. I remember Dee did a video in support of Philip Scott. They're talking about his wife or something like that. And he responded to that show. The revolution will not be televised, but we will find a way to talk to each other and get these ideas out there. And that's what they don't want. They don't want us to think that, wow, should we continue to support Auntie Maxine, who's 80 years old, or should we get somebody new and progressive that's going to go in there and not fight for us? Get the shit done, period. We want reparations. I want somebody that's going to talk about Black issues and Black reparations, not, oh, well, you know, next time we'll get you next time. Don't worry about it. No, now.
Right. Absolutely. Well said. And then Frankie says, death is not the end. I believe that too. You know, my mom is physically not here anymore, but I believe that she is here. I don't see her as completely gone and no more. Right. And Pamela, I consider her, Frank, I consider her my ancestor. That's what she is now. And Pamela says the pastor was used to show God's word was not in vain. Right. God says, I am not a man that I should lie. You know, you gonna obey, you know, but yeah, to me, it's silly. And just my opinion. I know some pastors have gotten mad with me, but I just think it's silly for you to, you know, to have your people exposed out there. I would say, like I said about Farrakhan, he took all of his people off the streets. They're not selling no newspapers. They're not meeting any of that. He's in compliance because he cares about his people over money. So, and let's see. Hey, Gina, he says, hey, guys. And Kevin says, better than church talk. Christ was told by the devil that it is written that God will protect you, right? Christ said, yes, but it is also written that one should not tempt the Lord your God, and that is the red letters. Yeah, God says, don't force me to give you a miracle. Don't go out there doing something you know you ain't supposed to be doing, but talking about, Lord, help me. Because I guarantee you, and I'm not trying to be funny, the last thing that pastor said when he was taking his last breath was, Lord, help me. And the Lord said, I did try to help you when I was giving you advice, and you thought you was superhuman, and you was going to force me to give you a miracle when I said, don't tempt me. You're not going to make me give you something I already told you was not for you in the first place. And so that's why, you know, obedience is better than sacrifice. Just do what you're supposed to do. And And I don't even go to church. I ain't been there in years. The ground will open up if I go in there. And Cindy says COVID-19 is mutating. It is too perfect. Wow. I don't doubt it. You know, like I said, I just don't. I don't want it. I don't want it.
This will happen again 8 months from now. You better believe it.
And Pamela says they all need to retire and fire them comes next. Regroup right now. Absolutely. And Al says in the Bible, it says, love thy neighbor. Well, the MF who wrote that ish didn't live next door to my mom. You know, we out of here, y'all. Thank you so much. I don't see any more comments. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do, being the other side of the conversation. Again, YouTube, thank you. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel. Marcus, thank you so much for everything you do behind the scenes. And Donovan, my co-host. Can I do this without you? We're going to see each other on Sunday because we're going to be back on Sunday. And again, if you guys have any more comments, questions, or concerns, please hit us up. We would love to talk about it because we can't talk about everything because we don't see everything. But if you have a topic you want us to cover, we will cover it. So please inbox us or however you need to get a hold of us. And Cindy says, not buying 8 months, try when we open up. Yeah.
Without a doubt. Well, what I'm saying is when the winter season comes in and the flu season, our normal flu season, this strain is going to be nothing to the next strain and so on and so forth. But Sydney's more versed on it than I am. So
absolutely. And yes, you be blessed too as well, Frank. And that goes for the rest of you guys. We will see you guys on Sunday. Please be safe, stay at home, eat something good, and woosah. Peace.